Hi, this is Taylor Garcia, and this is the case study for AEP 859, which is Curriculum and Evaluation of Pre-K through 12th Schools. So we're going to get started with Section 1, and Section 1 is to summarize the facts, or summarize the case, and establish the facts. So far what we know is that Kim is the assistant principal at Triscuit Middle School, which is for 7th and 8th graders in the Rockford City School District. They serve about 650 students. The curriculum that they're using right now is a Holt McDougall textbook, and it's being used to create norm reference tests and assessment for students. And this school is posting scores which are lower than the expectations of the state on their state achievement tests. And they're specifically performing poorly on short answer and then extended response essay questions. We also know that the school has recently transitioned to the 84-minute block scheduling, so the classes are longer. They've been put on a school improvement plan for the second year now, and this is by the state, and they have sent in state instructional coaches to help improve teaching for teachers and then learning for the students. And then the data that they have collected over the past couple of years is showing that writing is that specific area that students are struggling in. So for section 2, this is any legal or ethical issues. The only issues that would need to be addressed is that the students who are a part of an inclusion class, they are required by law to receive a differentiated instruction so that it meets the various needs of those students. For section 3, this is to synthesize exactly what has happened or what is happening. So what is happening right now is that Triscuit Middle School students are consistently performing below the benchmark goal on state achievement tests due to their struggles in writing. And that is what we know. So down into section 4, we're going to get into synthesizing the facts. So the people, again, the assistant principal is Kim. There's 650 students. About 80% are African American, 17% are white, and then 3% are of another race. And 65% of the students are on free or reduced meals, which includes breakfast and lunch. There are 80 staff members, and then there's a limited number of parents that are involved. They said that there wasn't a high involvement rate. The place is the Triscuit Middle School in Rockford City School District, which is a part of a large metropolitan area. The program, again, is a 7th and 8th grade public school. They have inclusion students, they have regular education students, and a multiple disability population that they're serving at this school. And then the curriculum, the main focus is writing and writing across all content areas. For section 5, we're going to review and prioritize the information. So right now, what we know is that stakeholders in this situation include the parents of the students that are attending Triscuit, the district leaders, and then those state education leaders that have been brought in to help improve the teaching and learning experiences that are happening in the middle school. An important individual that would have to take stake in the outcome would be Kim, the assistant principal, because she's taking the measures to ensure that the improvements being made are for the students' writing so that they can perform better on those state achievement exams and assessments. I do feel like I have enough information to make an informed decision from this case study. So section 6 is to identify options and consequences. So option 1 would be no action would be taken. Don't do anything. Just hope that maybe the students going out are going to go into the high school and they're going to move on, and then hope that the students coming in are going to be better writers than the current students at Triscuit. Option 2 would be to take extreme action, which would be to create an intensive writing class that all students are required to take. It would be one of those blocks, like I talked about in the 84-minute block schedule. It would cover the writing process, conventions, proper grammar, mistakes that are frequently made for the students to avoid when they're writing. And then part of the intensive writing curriculum would require students to complete bi-weekly or possibly weekly or even monthly papers to be examined by the teachers. So that would be a very extreme option. Option 3 would be a collaborative planning group to encourage curriculum changes. So this would be bringing the whole staff together, have them break out into groups and kind of generate ideas of things that they could do to change, all come back together and create one big plan based on all the different groups thoughts and options, and then they would create the best option as a school to implement. Option four would be very similar, but instead of doing it whole group, do small groups and allow those small groups to come up with their own ideas. And when they're coming up with those ideas, that would be the plan that that small group is going to be implementing with students, since obviously they feel like that would be the best option to make changes. And then option five would be to create a task force for planning some curriculum changes, invite anyone that would be interested, and the people that are really passionate and interested about it would come and join. They can meet periodically, set goals, and they could come up with a plan for the whole school to kind of follow along. Now we're going to evaluate those five options that I came up with. So for option one, no action taken. For Kim, it's an easy way out. Doesn't take any effort. You don't have to do anything. No changes for staff members or students. The cons is it's not really the best thing for students, and you're going to be continually submitting those poor test results on behalf of your school to the state. And you're probably going to continue working with those state instructional coaches to improve your writing at school. Your extreme action for the pros, it does show, your local and your state leadership that we understand this is a serious problem, so we're going to take an extreme measure to fix it. And then Kim might feel like this maybe is the best option and that she's doing something that's best for students. The cons, since it is such an extreme, it might cause frustration on staff and students, and there's probably not going to be a lot of buy-in from the people who are involved. For the whole group collaborative planning session, staff members would get to generate and share their own opinions, which would be nice, and it would be buy-in from teachers, especially if their plan is the one that's kind of the basis that the whole school's plan is going to go with. The cons would be that some staff members might not see this as an issue, and they're not going to be engaged in the brainstorming and generating new ideas. And then a lack of buy-in from staff members that would rather be implementing their own plan. For option four, some pros are, again, they're generating their own ideas and opinions. Staff members are going to be bought in, and it's giving them options to implement a plan that they think is truly the best. A big con to this one is that that's multiple plans being implemented all throughout the school. So as students are transitioning from class to class or block to block, every teacher is doing something a little bit different. So that would be a lot of extra work on the student's part. For option five, some pros are that, those that are really passionate about making a change are going to get the opportunity to do that by, being a part of the task force. It's not going to waste other staff members' time and effort if it's something that they don't really care about and they would rather just, do what somebody is telling them to do. One con is that does leave this decision left up to, a large or small group, depending on how many people are present. It's leaving such a big decision up to those couple of people. So if it doesn't work out, it would kind of feel like the responsibility is falling on their shoulders. For choose the best option, I think the best option for me personally is to create a task force. By doing this, you would find staff members that are passionate. Like I said, they want to make a change for students. They're the ones that want to have a say in the changes that are going to be made, and they're going to get to do that. And then the assistant principal would be ahead of the task force, and she would kind of help guide the process and walk through those steps. So for implementing the decision, step one, I would share the task force plan with the staff members. Step two, I would let them sign up, anybody that wants to. Once they're signed up, you could next plan a time for everyone to meet that works for everyone. Step four, create goals for the task force to accomplish. So don't just have endless meetings, kind of set goals and how you're going to meet them. Work towards those goals to find a change. And then for step six, once they have that plan, they would share it with the rest of the school. Likely outcomes, hopefully this would be well received, and whatever changes they decide to make would be put into action by staff members, and students will then hopefully perform higher on those state achievement tests that they're taking. People that need to know would be the building principal, Kim, would obviously the assistant principal would be a part of it. Any state appointed instructional coaches that are there to help would need to know of this. And then the students and parents would obviously know about it because they're partaking in it. I do think that I could handle this situation on my own as long as I've communicated with all the people that I've listed that would need to be aware of the changes being made. That way everyone's kind of in the loop and knows what's going on. If this doesn't work, I think I would kind of shift my choices to option three, which would be the whole group collaborative planning, and put the whole staff together to generate new ideas for change in the curriculum for the Triscuit Middle School students. That is my case study for AEP 859. Thank you for watching.